Hi, I'm Dirk Hanna. I'm the community care pastor here at Vineyard Church, and I want to talk to you about hospital visits. On this training video, we're going to speak specifically to the hospital visit itself. So I'm going to take it right from when you walk into the room. Let me just say up front, with hospital visits, you play an extremely important role in our church by being on this team. Here's why. Because if you've ever been in the hospital, you know what a vulnerable feeling that is. You're kind of there and you're helpless to a certain extent. And so when you have somebody from your church come visit you, pray with you, spend a little time with you, it's extremely valuable and it means a lot. So people will stay with our church or leave our church based on whether or not they get a hospital visit. So just know how important your role is, okay? So you're in the hospital, you set up the visit, you're coming toward the door to the patient's room. First of all, your energy should be very kind of quiet and low. You're in a hospital. I know that some of us want to be more bold and, hey, how's it going? And that's not really what you want to do in a hospital. When you go in, as soon as you walk in the door, just kind of announce yourself, because most likely there's going to be family members there in addition to the patient, and you just walk in and just say, hey, how's it going? Introduce yourself. I'm from Vineyard Church, just popping in for a quick visit. And you have to kind of just manage the situation, because there's going to be family members there, there's going to be the patient there, and you just kind of have to feel around whether it's appropriate to introduce yourself to everybody or say hi to everybody or whatever you want to do. Just kind of get a feel for it. Couple things. First of all, don't ever sit on the bed. You can stand by the bed, or you can come around and sit if there's usually some chairs or maybe a couch. If it feels right to sit in one of those while you're talking, that's fine too. But just get a feel for the room. Make it just as comfortable as possible for everyone there. As you get in, you want to greet everyone there, but really focus on the person who's in the hospital from our church. And a couple things. Don't ask them why they're there, because it could be a personal thing. They don't necessarily want to share what they're, and typically they probably share that with you, but just, you don't need to ask them. If they want to volunteer that information, that's fine. But you don't need to ask them why they're there. Basically, for the first part, you're just kind of making small talk. How's it going? They treating you well here? You getting enough to eat or whatever, just anything you think of. Talk about the weather. Something about I don't know, anything you want to talk about. If you see if they're a Chiefs fan, talk about sports or whatever. But just, basic small talk. And then if they have questions or want to engage you in conversation, just go with that. Let them dictate the conversation. But the thing is, it's just a nice, easy visit, basically. Once you've been there, the entire visit should be no longer than 10 to 15 minutes max. Even if things are rolling, the conversation's going, it's just best that basically you're looking at the most 15 minutes, just kind of an opportunity to wrap up. And so at the end of your visit, you'll just ask them, hey, do you mind if I go ahead and pray with you? And they'll always say yes, and it's been my experience at least. And then you ask them, again, you don't know necessarily what their condition is, just say, do you mind if I put my hand on your shoulder? And as long as that's okay, you do that. Now, one thing you want to do is kind of watch what the family does, because sometimes I've had situations where I'm going in to pray and the whole family will come and gather up around the bed, or you can tell they want to pray as well. And if that happens, it's perfectly okay to just say, hey, why doesn't everybody just gather around? Let's go ahead and hold hands, and we're going to pray, which I think is a great thing. If you don't force that, but I've found that often families are ready to do that. So just kind of keep an eye on that, and if they want to, absolutely engage in it. If not, you're just there praying with the patient. And when you're praying, I really feel it's appropriate to just pray for God's healing, because it is His will to heal. So I just do usually a general prayer of healing from the top of their head to the bottom of their feet. If they've shared with you any specific kind of parts of their condition, you can speak to that specific part of their body for healing. And then you can just certainly pray for, guide the surgeon's hands or guide the doctor's decision making, give them wisdom, and then just pray peace over them and their family, and then you're done. And then once that's done, you just say goodbye to everybody and walk out. It's pretty simple. The main thing about hospital visits is just your presence. You being there and praying with them is the main thing, really. As long as you're doing that, I know it sounds almost overly simple, but it's highly impactful. And I just really bless you in this endeavor, and I really thank you for being on this team. So God bless.